Hello, hello, and happy Sunday from Las Vegas. I am super excited because I have not done an Ask Me Anything YouTube live or live stream at all in a very, very long time. So I'm excited to come to you today live on a Sunday afternoon. Sunday fun day, of course. Watched the Raiders get their butts kicked earlier today. So I figure, why don't we sow in our crying tears over here together on YouTube. You might be watching me on Facebook. You might be watching me on LinkedIn. I don't know where you're watching me, but if you're here with me, I wanted to just say hello and say thank you for joining me. So I'm going to be here answering any questions that you have about Vegas, about real estate, about things to do, what's going on in the industry, who did my hair today. I don't know, whatever you want to ask me, I'm here to answer for you live. I'm going to stay on as long as you need me to. So drop your questions or your comments in the comment box or directly below, and we'll get this party started. I also set up some questions on my Instagram asking people to submit some questions to me to be answered live because they may or may not have been able to join us live. So I'm going to jump into those in just a few minutes, but I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to join. I see a bunch of people hopping on. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. What a crazy freaking weekend it has been already here in Las Vegas this weekend. This month, I don't know if you watch my videos where I talk about all the crazy events that are happening throughout the month. I don't even cover all the events that are happening. And my hair has been blown back for the last week, just seeing how much has been going on in the city. We had the F1 launch party for the F1 racing that's coming to Las Vegas next year. That happened in and around Las Vegas yesterday. Main party was over at Caesar's Palace, but they did a really cool kickoff event downtown. They did a trial run of the race up and down and around, I believe, the Strip. It has been nuts. It has been nuts. That paired with the Who was in town, that with the rodeo, the SEMA car show. I mean, it has been kind of going crazy. So I'm really, really excited. It's only weekend 1 of November and I'm already exhausted. So anyway, happy Sunday fun day. Thanks for joining me, for joining us late. This is just going to be a fun Ask Me Anything about Vegas, about real estate, about I don't know, whatever you want to ask me, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Go ahead and start dropping those questions in the comment box below. And I'm going to kick off actually with a couple of the questions that came through on my Instagram, because I did do a little bit of a setup there just in case, I don't know if I was going to be on here by myself today. So I figure I would ask and answer. All right. R.A. Sawyer is asking, what is the best sit-down Mexican restaurant here in Las Vegas? Bonus if it's North Las Vegas. Great question. Okay. So I cannot put that actually up on the screen, but they're asking me, what are the best sit-down Mexican restaurants? Growing up in Vegas, we had a lot of really great Mexican restaurants that are no longer. There was Ricardo's, there was Macayo's. That was actually it. There weren't a lot. There were those two main ones. And anybody who grew up here knows about Ricardo's and Macayo's. I do think Macayo's is reopened under a different name, and the people who used to work there have brought the recipes with them. But some of my favorites, as far as Mexican food goes, you're going to go, I'd say Casa Don Juan would probably be towards the top of the list. They've got a couple of locations throughout town. Very authentic, for as authentic as we can get here in Vegas. Let's see. Lindo Michoacan, which is over in Henderson. Really beautiful view of the entire city up on a hill. Kind of cool. Food's really good. Let me see. And then Pancho's in Summerlin. I can't think of any specifically other than like Tacos El Gordo, but that's not really a sit-down Mexican restaurant. There is one off of 95 and Craig, and I cannot think of the name of it to save my life. So look up 95 and Craig Road, and there's literally right on the corner of that on the map, there will be a Mexican restaurant. Sorry, I can't think of the name, but really good question, R.A. Sawyer. Thank you for asking. Here's another food question. Gruss 1966 says, what's your favorite restaurant in Las Vegas? Oh, man. So anybody who grew up in Vegas or even lives in Vegas now, anybody moving to Vegas is going to have a hard time answering this question as well, because the Las Vegas restaurant scene is exploding. We are truly in the midst of a foodie renaissance over the last 5 years in Las Vegas. And largely it comes from the fact that, the city of Las Vegas is really easy to get around. I personally think your value for life and like your amazingness about being able to live in a city like this is really, really high. Your quality of life is extremely high. So for people who come into town who work in the food and beverage industry, these amazing chefs and people who have all this amazing culinary skills are typically brought into town to open some of the bigger restaurants on the Strip. when they get here, they realize that restaurants and the food and beverage industry, while it's still a very tough industry, do not quite operate like they do in other cities. You actually can have a little bit of a balance in your life. So I know that a lot of these bigger chefs are deciding to kind of plant roots in Las Vegas after realizing like, hey, I like it here. I'm working for XYZ on the strip. And then once they get here and they plant roots, they realize they can do either both. They can plant roots, work on the strip, and then start their own thing off the strip in one of our neighborhood areas, or they come in and they decide to be entrepreneurial. And because this is such a small business friendly city, they're able to open their own spots. And we are getting some of the best freaking food in Las Vegas off the strip. Yes, of course, the strip is amazing. You can find incredible food anywhere, but off the strip is where that renaissance, that foodie renaissance is really happening. So some of my favorites, because I'm never going to be able to answer just one. Let's see. Esther's Kitchen is always going to be at the top of my list. It's located in downtown Las Vegas. It's been voted one of the best restaurants in the world. By far, one of my hands down favorites. And I'm gluten-free. I can't even eat it, but I love it anyway. They own another restaurant called Al Solito Pisto. It's a different version of Italian food that is going to be located in Tivoli Village in Summerlin. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank now. There's some really great Thai food restaurants here in town. I'm a big fan of Lotus of Siam. That's a new location. Was just announced. It's opening up at Red Rock Casino in Summerlin. Oh my gosh, I'm going to draw more blanks. I could literally, if you were one-on-one with me, I could rattle them off. I'm going to come back to the restaurant question, but there's a couple for you to chew on. But if you're looking for great restaurants, I highly recommend you visit my page on YouTube. I have several of those my favorite top this, top that, best brunch, best this, best that videos on my channel. Okay, let me move on and see if we can look at some of the questions here on screen. Hey, Sammy, she says, hey, hun, showing some love. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Thanks, Sammy, for always tuning in. Hey, Oscar, he says, was in Vegas weekend and wonder why no one builds in the far north end of the strip. It's a really good question, Oscar. So the north end of the strip is actually being developed, believe it or not. North is towards the stratosphere. So the part of the strip that kind of gets, we call it no man's land, basically, is at where the Sahara ends, and then it's kind of nothing for a little while until you get to downtown Las Vegas, or really after the stratosphere to downtown Las Vegas. A lot of that land is actually being developed, but I think it's all a matter of, like, we've seen a lot of places like the Fontainebleau and Resorts World and things like that open up on this end of the strip, the north side of the strip, and they struggle, right? They don't have as much foot traffic as you're going to get if you're at the south side of the strip, and where all the people are sitting and working and showing up for their vacation. So I think it's going to take a little bit longer for more of that business to migrate to the north. But trust me when I tell you, I live downtown. I'm looking down the strip right now, and I can tell you that the development that I'm seeing, not from a casino perspective, but just from a small business perspective, smaller hotels, really cool restaurants, things like that, is absolutely happening on an everyday basis. So really good point. Thanks, Oscar. TLE says, happy Sunday. Tracy Johnson says, hi, Lacey. I believe you mentioned before about homes with solar panels. Is it a hassle buying them with solar? Tracy, really, really, really good question. So the answer is yes and no. So solar, when a solar comes with the home, it's awesome, right? It's already installed. You don't have to deal with the upfront cost that goes into putting it in. Where it gets a little tricky is if the person who's selling the home, whether they paid off the solar or they're planning to pay off the solar, or if they have it under a lease agreement. A lot more of the homes that we're seeing on the market have the lease agreement, which is totally fine. It still saves you that money on power, which is really big when it comes to Las Vegas. Sometimes power bills can be upwards of $800, depending on how old your home is. So what we're seeing is, as home buyers start to look at homes, the opportunity for it to have solar is actually a huge plus for you as a home buyer. You just have to be able to qualify to take over that solar loan or that solar lease when you're in the process of purchasing the home. So if it's usually $9, $50, $10 a month. It's really not a lot of money, but the balance of the loan is something that you'll have to be able to qualify for. So it's something that I would talk to your lender about. I highly recommend talking to and working with Amber Coleman, of course. She's the lender that we work with the most. If you click the link in the description below, you can contact us. We'll put you right in touch with her. She, in the process of qualifying you, will know how much room to wiggle you have when it comes to getting qualified. But typically the qualifications doesn't take much time at all. It's just a matter of making sure that you have enough margin in your debt to income ratio to be able to add the additional loan that's a lease from whoever you're using for the solar company. But as a buyer, I highly recommend it if you can. And if it's paid off, it's amazing. It's awesome. There's usually a connection fee you pay like $9 a month, and it saves you a crap ton of money. So good question, Tracy. Thank you so much. Anthony says, what time is it in Vegas? Well, sir, it's 4:09 p.m. Feels like it's 5:09 p.m. because it's freaking daylight savings. And if, for those of you who don't know, Nevada's going to be getting rid of the daylight savings after our next cycle. So during spring, that'll be the last time that we as a state actually do the time savings thing. So if you were thinking about moving to Vegas, that's something you should be aware of. Oh, Sammy said my hair looks cute. Thanks, girl. I'm trying a little something different. Appreciate you. Hey, Olivia, good to see you. I hope you're home with your new baby. Congratulations. Oh, my dog's over here tuning in. That's Baxter, everybody. You can say hi. Johnson Rice says Juan's Flaming Fajitas in Henderson and in Las Vegas is actually a really good sit-down Mexican restaurant, to answer one of the questions earlier. Really good point. I always forget about Juan's Flaming Fajitas. I actually have a really cool video coming out pretty soon in the next couple of weeks about downtown Water Street in Henderson. It's given downtown Las Vegas a run for its freaking money. So if you're thinking about checking out all the newest, hottest, hippest, coolest places to go, stay tuned for my video where I tell you all about what's going down at the downtown Water Street over in Henderson, where Juan's Flamin' Fajita is. Okay. Trevor Pano says, what's your favorite game to play in Las Vegas? I like to play bingo. I like to play bingo too, actually. I'm not a huge gambler. I grew up working in the casino industry. I started my career running marketing at Station Casinos. I then went to work for the gaming manufacturer, IGT, the one who makes Wheel of Fortune and Mega Bucks. So I've never been a huge gambler. I do love a good bingo game. And yeah, and I even like going up to Mesquite, which is only about a 45-minute drive. Or is it 90 minutes? I think it's 45-minute drive, because those casinos have a little bit of a more fun kind of down and dirty vibe, and you can win a little bit more money. There's not as many people competing against you. Philippe Phillips says, housing costs coming down in Las Vegas. Are the housing costs coming down? Yes and no. So, I like to try to help people understand what's going on with the industry right now, because a lot of people are saying it's crashing, don't buy, interest rates suck, and all of those things, depending on how you look at it, may or may not be true. Right now, I will stand by this as long as I can. Right now is the juiciest, crunchiest opportunity as a buyer to buy. So are the house prices coming down? A little. Values of home are starting to come down a little bit. Prices are being dropped. So if you're looking at homes on Zillow or Realtor.com, or just if you're working with our team and you're getting notices of price decreases, that's happening. The price decreases are happening because sellers are running out of options on how do we get this house sold, because there's so much more inventory on the market, and the buyer market has dried up quite a bit due to the fact that the news is telling everybody that we're in a crash, the recession has kicked off officially, and those darn interest rates just keep on going up. So to answer your question, yes and no. So if you work with our team, and again, I cannot say it strong enough, now is a very good time to buy. I know it seems like I'm crazy by saying that, but what I recommend doing is working with someone like Amber Coleman, who we can connect you with. Link is in the description below. She'll help you qualify for, with today's rates, what they look like. Here's what you can shop for. Let's say because of what you make and your debt and all of that, and with the rates at almost 10% or 7% or whatever they are, you can only qualify for maybe $400,000. Then she'll work with you to say, but if you go out and shop for $500,000, you're going to need to ask for this much money back in closing costs and a points buy down, where the seller or the builder will buy down your rate, your points, to a more reasonable rate, to where your payment is actually where it kind of feels like it would be at the $400,000 range, but you're actually getting more for your money. So yes, prices are decreasing a little. They're not slamming downward, because there is still a desire for people to move to Vegas. There are still people buying. Values are shrinking a bit. And there's not as many buyers. So because it's really such a buyer's market right now, you have the opportunity to wheel and deal. And we always try to tell people too, it's not always the best deal for you to go out and ask for them to just reduce the price. And actually, if you pay what they're asking, you can actually get them to give that money back by paying for your closing costs, which can be 10 to 15 to, however much you're going to spend on that, depending on the house price, thousands of dollars. And on top of that, buying down your rate for you so that then your payment goes down. So we always try to, help you guys see apples to apples comparisons and really look at it closely before you go in and say, I don't think that house is worth 400. I'm going to offer 350. It doesn't matter if it's worth 400. What can you afford? Do you want the house? What are they willing to give? And if you can play ball, sometimes you can actually get a lot more from the sellers right now because of the market. So we would love to help you guys if you're thinking about moving to Vegas. I'm just going to do a shameless plug again. Click the link in the description below. Would love to talk to you and answer more of these one-on-one questions about housing specifically, because I'm going to tell you what, it's hard for people. Don't believe me when I sit here and say now is an amazing and excellent time to buy. I promise it is. And it's genuinely because you can actually get a deal. Most people think, that I want to get a deal and I want to get this house, that house that I was looking at a year ago that I can no longer afford. You might be able to actually do that because we can maybe help the seller help you be able to afford it by asking for more. Builders too. Builders are giving away those houses and they are buying down rates and they are giving away closing costs and they're giving free upgrades. And, everyone had the rug pulled out from under them a little bit earlier this year. So yes, the long-winded answer is housing costs are coming down. But what's even more important and the bigger side of that story is now's a freaking great time to buy because now's when you can get a freaking deal. And who doesn't want a deal on a house? I know I do. All right. Nailed It by Nicole. Hey, Las Vegas gal. How you doing? Nailed It. Good to see you. Let's see. One restaurant I like to eat at in Las Vegas is the Peppermill. Trevor, thank you. I love the Peppermill. My parents used to play music on the Strip. My parents were performers and entertainers. If you didn't know that, that's what brought us to Las Vegas in 1989. And they used to tell me stories about hanging out at the Peppermill after their late night lounge shows that they were playing on the Strip at the casino. So all the Rat Pack people used to go there. The mobsters used to go there, the mobsters' wives, the mobsters' girlfriends, yada, yada, yada. So when I go to the Peppermill, which I did recently, and you sit in that lounge, the fireside lounge that has the big, flaming fire in the middle, I kind of get a sense that I'm like sitting where Las Vegas Royalty once sat, and it's kind of cool. If you haven't checked out the Peppermill, highly recommend it. It's really super fun. Just don't go on a Sunday because it gets crazy. And if you're going to go in the evening, like later in the evening, easier to do. Let's see. Alexandria says, we just came from Carson Kitchen and it was fantastic as usual. Another great restaurant. I don't know why I don't have restaurants on my mind. I can usually rattle off like 30 of them, but my brain is kind of slapped. But that's a really good one too, located in downtown Vegas. Sammy says, Craig is the new restaurant road. There's always new restaurants going up there. So if you don't know, Craig Road is actually in North Las Vegas, Northwest and North Las Vegas. And it was typically kind of an industrial area for a long, long time. But in the last 5 to 10 years, houses have been being built out there. Businesses have been really setting up out there. And you're right, Sammy, there has been a huge influx of awesome, new, cool restaurants that are just lining that street. So check out Craig Road if you're ever in Las Vegas, or just zoom in on the map on Craig Road and type restaurants, and it'll show you how many are there. It's kind of awesome. Carson Kitchen. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Johnson Rice, channel hopping. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. William Roberts says downtown Las Vegas is building a small town experience. Yeah, it really is, William. I appreciate you saying that. It is, downtown Vegas is surrounded by a lot of vintage Vegas neighborhoods, and then a couple of high rises in between. But what I love about the downtown Vegas vibe is that it's not too flashy. It's not too big for its britches just yet. It is a definite blend of locals and tourists, with business owners, with, we have our judicial system down here, all the jail is down here. We've got all the courthouses and things like that. But it just is such a unique vibe. And you can always run into somebody who's either in from out of town or who lives down the street. So I love downtown. That's why I live down here. It's one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life was deciding to move downtown. And I don't know if I'm going to leave anytime soon. I'll be honest. Okay, here's a question from Johnson Rice. What are the cheapest or best grocery stores there for the frugal minded? Really, really good question. So a long, long time ago, in a time far, far away, on my Instagram, I used to do these awesome grocery store and department store tours around town that were things that like you may not know about, like the bread factory that nobody knows about, or the day old bread store or whatever. Miss doing those. I just don't have the time to do them anymore. But if you want to go check out my Instagram at Las Vegas Gal, please go check some of those old posts out. They're eons old. Some of the cheaper grocery stores, we're just like any other major city. We've got Smith's or Kroger brand. We've got Vons. We've got Albertsons. I think Ralph's is the Smith's, I think, if I'm not mistaken. We've also got Costco and Sam's Club. We've got Walmart big stores, and we also have the Walmart neighborhood shops. That's probably going to be your best buy when it comes to being frugally minded. We also have 99-cent stores and Dollar General, and a lot of those kind of smaller mom and pop, not mom and pop, but like the smaller corner shop stores is what I meant to say, that you can pop in and out of. So it really depends, but we're not set up very differently when it comes to the types of stores that we have here. We're pretty much, we have all the big box and the small box stores out here. I love visiting some of the smaller grocery stores, like international markets and things like that, which are also kind of cool. Like we have a place called 99 Ranch Market, which is is like a Asian international store that has some really cool fruits and veggies that you're never going to know that even existed. So yeah, when it comes to stores, it's really tough because we have most of what you're probably going to see anywhere else across America and in California, which I know a lot of you currently live there. But I'd say if you're being frugal, Walmart is going to be a great place to stop, whether it be the neighborhood shop or the big one. And then of course, some of those Dollar General. I hope that answered your question. All right. Let's see here. Can't wait to move to Vegas. All right, Anthony. Can't wait for you to move here either. That's awesome. Kurt Johnson, is Las Vegas Gal married in Las Vegas? Just kidding. Have a good day. Las Vegas Gal is no longer married. No, she is not. She is definitely not married anymore. So good question. Life in Sin City says, I love Vegas. Me too. Me too. All right. Beach all day. Let's see. Beach all day guy says, I prefer to be close to these gorgeous red rocks than the strip or downtown. What areas get me closest to the nature background? Great question. Thank you so much for that question. I love the outer skirts, outer realm of Las Vegas as well. Number one, because it's still super close to the action, right? If you live like at the furthest point that the city has been developed as of right now in this moment, you are maybe 22 minutes from the strip on a good day. If it's a little trafficy, you might be 30 minutes, but 22 to 25 minutes from the strip. So Sky Canyon is a beautiful newer developing area it's in the northwest side of town, kind of close to Red Rock, really close to Mount Charleston. So you're at the base of Mount Charleston. You're about 30 minutes from the top of the mountain, 35 minutes if so. It's a gorgeous master plan community. They've got an amazing kind of park area with a pool that everybody can share, and this amazing, it looks like an REI. It's a community center just for that neighborhood. Beautiful new homes. And the city is kind of shaped like a bowl, right? So if you're up on that edge of the bowl, your purview of the city is incredible, and you're backing up to those mountains like we talked about, and you're close to Red Rock or really close to that Mount Charleston experience. FYI, Mount Charleston is about 30 degrees on average lower than the rest of the city. So if it's summertime and you're dying in the heat, everybody's so worried about the heat, live in Sky Canyon, you're already going to be a little bit cooler, and then you're a 30-minute drive from 30 degrees lower. So not bad if you ask me. Another cool area would be the southwest part of town. So you've got northwest, southwest. Southwest is going to be kind of the other side of it, other side of Red Rock. You are a very quick 15-minute drive from the Red Rock entrance, Red Rock State Park. You are very close to Pahrump. You're on the edge of the city, Mountain's Edge. So it's literally called Mountain's Edge because that's where you're located. And you've got the most stunning views of the mountains on the backside of your home and the neighborhood. So big fan of both of those areas. They get you really close to the outdoor experiences. And again, like I said, you're 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes from the heart of the city. So want to go out to a concert, want to do something fun, cool, pop home, you're easy. It's 20, 25 minutes, boom, you're back to it. So Anthony Gina Tafoya says, what's the average price for a 3 to 4 bedroom home? Really good question. I wish I could give you a straight answer. In fact, I'm going to log in here and see what our most recent median home price was. We were $465 at one point in time, and I'm not quite sure where we landed. They might have released it. I was waiting for the November numbers to come out. So let me look this up for you. 3 to 4 bedroom homes, though, are about kind of the average size home here in Las Vegas, which is a good thing. Let's see if we can find some of the latest data, because they usually release it on like the 6th or 7th. September. No, I only have September numbers. October numbers haven't come out yet. But as of September, our median home price is $450. And for condos, our median home price is $270,000. We only have about 4 months worth of inventory as of that month. Probably have a little bit more as of now. October, I think we saw quite a few new homes hit the market. And that's not including new homes, like brand new homes. This is all resale. So if you think about it, $450, we're probably a little bit lower. Our average median price. Sorry, I can't talk. Median home price is probably a little bit under the $450 mark now. And an average home in Las Vegas is going to have a minimum of 3 bedrooms. We don't have a lot of 2-bedroom homes here. We do, but they're not rampant. So hope that answered your question. If that feels like, it's out of range for you, I'm going to let you know right now, even with the crazy rates, even with everything going on, now is still an incredible time to buy. Please call us. Click the link in the description. Amber Coleman is a wizard of loans. I kid you not. And we had 11 miracle clients. And I say miracle, meaning like none of them should have been approved for a loan. Yet we got 11 people in the last 30 days approved for a loan. Stuff that like happened in the process of getting them approved that like in any other situation would have absolutely took them off the table for buying a home, and we were able to get them pushed through. So I don't ever want anybody to look at their own credit online and think that they need to make the decision as to whether or not their credit's right, or they can afford this or they can afford that. Let her help you understand what you can afford, and let her look at the proper credit numbers, because the number that Credit Karma is showing you is not the real credit number that they're going to use to qualify you for a home. My dog is scratching. Hello, Baxter. Say hi. Hi. You want to come say hi? Come here. This is Baxter. He needs a haircut. Hi. You good boy. Okay. Uh-oh. I messed up. He's going to be bringing me his toys now. So I hope that answered your question. Sorry to get off track. Oscar said he's hoping for the Powerball tomorrow. Is that when it goes? I don't even watch the Powerball. I don't ever follow it. Tell me more about this Powerball. I know that a lot of people who live in Vegas pool their money and drive to the border to buy lottery tickets, because we don't have lottery here. We have casinos instead. We have a daily lottery that you pull the lever or push the button. Aussie Expat 2 says, my neighborhood has 4 listings now, all in a race, decreasing their price and not selling. Oldest listing is now 120 days old. Yep. So what we're seeing is, the news is dictating a lot of what people are thinking about the industry, and not just the news. The rate hikes and stuff are definitely scary. And unfortunately, realtors who aren't educated or haven't been in this industry long enough don't seem to understand that just dumping the price down isn't doing anybody any favors and isn't going to sell the house, right? Being a little bit more creative with what you're offering. Upfront telling the buyers that are looking at the home that you're willing to buy their rate down a couple of points. You're willing to come out of pocket to cover their closing costs. Those types of things are a little bit smarter in terms of marketing a home, but sellers also just get it in their head. Well, I guess it's too expensive. I guess I have to lower the price. And then they're just, unfortunately, lowering the value of the homes in the neighborhood as well. So it's really hard to watch with not as many buyers on the market. It's really, really tough to see everybody struggling to get their houses sold. We've got several listings on our team as well. Some are moving, some aren't. Just depends on the neighborhood and the competition. But it's not just that. It's really, truly that, everyone's scared. Everyone's scared right now. And I completely don't blame any of you for being that way. I've been in that mode myself. I'm in the industry every day. I do this for a living. My team does this for a living. And we are seeing some of the craziest deals I've ever seen in my life. So the one thing that I always hear from every human being that wants to buy a house is, I want to make sure I get a deal. I'm not going to buy it unless I get a deal. Well, let me show you how to get a deal. Now is the time to get a deal, is all I have to say. All right, let me look here. Let's say, Michael, is it Quinones? Did I say that right? Maybe not. Are there a lot of single people moving to Vegas? By the way, are you single, Lacey? LOL. I'm getting a lot. Must be the lipstick and the hair. I'm getting a lot of love today. I am single. I am not married. And yeah, there's a lot of single people that move to Las Vegas. I don't really know what the dating scene is like. I'm just not in the dating scene. But I will say that I know a lot of single people who live here and freaking love it. It's the best city on the planet for a single person. You can go out every night of the week. There's literally something to do every day, every afternoon, and every night of the week. I had 5 conflicting things yesterday alone on a random Saturday in the first part of November to attend. And I did not make it to half of them because I had too many drinks at brunch. But that's me. That's probably why I'm not in the dating scene, because I'm drinking too much at brunch. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of single people here. So if you're single, you want to move to Vegas, you'll have the pick of the litter, I'm certain. Tony says Jing. Jing is a really good restaurant as well. Good one to add to that list. Awesome. And Capriati's. Who doesn't love Capriati's? I love Capriati's. If you haven't had Capriati sandwiches, your life has not been changed. And since I've been gluten-free and my life has gotten better that way, I miss Capriati's the most out of all of them. I got to find some gluten-free. Got to get them to start doing the gluten-free bread. Tony also says Pizza Rock. We got more of these restaurants coming through. This is amazing. Oscar says Roadkill Grill in North Las Vegas. Oh yeah, Roadkill is amazing. Actually, I totally forgot about that place. Super, super cool. Good one, you guys. Keep it going. We do have a Winco. Somebody was asking about shopping earlier. We do have a Winco. West Coast pizza sucks, says Edward Loves Crypto. Secret Pizza in the Cosmo was the best in Vegas. I agree with you, Edward. West Coast pizza definitely is not my favorite. I'm a New York pizza girl all day, every day. I've in the past gone to New York just for a slice of pizza when I was working on the East Coast for a little while. I'm a big fan of some of the smaller mom and pop shops. There's a place called IDK Pizza. I think there's one in Henderson. Incredible, very, very close to New York style and vibe. And then also Verrazano Pizza is one of my favorites. Also, we have a place called Rosati's if you want to check out another pizza space. Evil Pie is downtown. They're always really good. Pizza Rock's super fun too. It's not like an order takeout pizza place, but it's definitely good. All right. Edward Loves Crypto says, just curious, which mid-century neighborhood do you like the best? I am a huge fan of all the mid-century old school neighborhoods, all the historic neighborhoods, if you will. But my absolute favorite is going to be, um, mm, mm, mm. Oh, I go back and forth between Scotch 80s and I'm going to go Scotch 80s or Glen Heather Estates. I'll give you those. I have a couple others that are my favorites, but those are some really nice ones. There's also the Paradise Palms area. Now, scratch it, McNeil Estates. Hands down, McNeil Estates. They have the ranch style single story homes that are on massively huge lots that have these really cool driveways that are like a horseshoe bend driveway. McNeil Estates all day. But in case you don't know, those are some awesome neighborhoods in town. And if you like the mid-century or you just like walking around looking at cool old houses, there's a really amazing organization in town called Nevada Preservation Foundation, I believe is what they're called. And they put on this event once or maybe twice a year. I have to double check their calendar. That's basically a week-long experience where they are educating you about the preservation of the history of Las Vegas in our neighborhoods. So you can do walking tours in some of the neighborhoods, and they'll teach you about each type of architecture, why this one's different than that one, how old this home was, what famous person lived in this home. Some of them will let you walk through the homes. It's just one of the coolest events I've ever gone on and done. And so it's Nevada Preservation Foundation. And I think they call it Vegas Cool, if I'm not mistaken. Just find them online, and I'll certainly drop them. I'll put a post up on my channel after this is done with some links and stuff. Nevada Preservation is one of my favorite organizations. We were a media partner for a little while, looking to get back in with them as well, just to help educate you guys about the awesome historic value that we have in our cool historic protected neighborhoods, but also just finding out all the cool stats on all the cool people that live here. But hands down, McNeil Estates. Yes. Okay, let's see. The CW0619 says, get yourself a black light to check for scorpions if you live near the outskirts of Vegas. That's really good advice. I've lived here 30 years. I don't want to tell you how many years, 30 something years. And I've never seen a scorpion in my life, not once. And I've moved around a lot. My family moved around a lot. But I will say, for those who are living in the newer homes that are on the outskirts of town, think about it. When they uproot dirt, they're uprooting the lives of these animals and their homes, and they take a while sometimes to decide that it's time to get up and actually move the whole community to another location. So yes, I do know the outside edges of town. You want to be a little bit more careful with that. I'm just a big fan of working with the pest company. We've got some beautiful partners that work with us here in town to help you just stay aware and stay safe from the scorpions. But again, I've lived here 30 something years and I've never once seen a scorpion. All right. Sammy says, what do you think will end up happening with places like Lake Las Vegas and Desert Shores? Maybe you're asking because of the water? Maybe, I'm not sure, Sammy. Lake Las Vegas is thriving right now. Lake Las Vegas was kind of hit pretty hard during the 2007 crash, 2008 crash, whenever that was, 2007. They were hit pretty hard. And it was mainly because it was a second home community. A lot of the people that lived out there and owned homes there, that was like their retirement home or their vacation home. So there weren't a lot of people actually living in those neighborhoods every day in and out. The casino that was out there closed down, and I think it might even still be boarded up. I'm not even sure. I thought it was purchased recently. But in the last 5 to 10 years, the city has done a really good job, and the developers out there have done a really good job of building new homes, creating new opportunity for people to buy out there. And it is now largely shifted into a random, normal neighborhood that has this awesome lake in its backyard. I don't think anything's going to happen from a water perspective. They're not, it's a lot of recycled water and things like that go on for those locations. Same thing with Desert Shores. Desert Shores is one of my favorite locations in town, one of my favorite little secret hidden neighborhoods that not many people know about. And it's a man-made lake that kind of goes throughout the entire neighborhood. Some of this, you can do kayaking and little boats and paddle boats and things like that. And some of the houses actually back up to the lake. I don't think they're having any discussions about changing the water consumption there, because they're not. I believe it's mostly recycled. They're not really consuming any, and they have a lot of wildlife. So they have a lot of fish and turtles and things like ducks, things like that live in the water. So I I hope that answered your question. That's a really, really good question. Steve Six says, can you buy a suite at the Cosmopolitan? In terms of living at the Cosmopolitan, no. They are strictly a hotel casino. However, Vidara, which is right next door to the Cosmopolitan, you can. It's called a condotel. So you can actually purchase a condo. You can live there full time, or you can use it as a vacation space to use. And then when you're not using it, you can let the hotel rent it out for you to people and have it cleaned and process it through their hotel system and make some money. You can also do that yourself without the help of the hotel, but marketing it and pricing it appropriately, knowing what's going on in town is a little bit more difficult when you're not here. So we actually did a series of condotel videos a couple months ago on my channel on YouTube. Please go check them out. Very informative, tells you all the different condotel opportunities. You know, when word got out that Airbnb was now allowed in Las Vegas, everybody rushed to the phone to call us to say, I want to buy a house, I want to do Airbnb. We have a new updated Airbnb rules and information coming out for you in the next 2 weeks. So I'm super excited about that. Please stay tuned. We've been working really hard to make sure that we have the most up-to-date info. And really, we're just going to break it down for you straight up so that you're not getting any wrong ideas. But what we're telling most of our clients is, you know, if Airbnb and overcoming a lot of the hurdles that you have to overcome right away with that is not what you want to do, shifting your mindset to possibly taking and doing a condotel purchase is awesome. And now they offer loans for condotels, whereas they did not do that before. So if you're thinking about investing in Vegas, you want to still be able to use the place that you buy as a vacation spot when you come into town and then make money on it, you know, when you're not there. Condotel is a great stepping stone towards that if you don't want to go all in on a house right away. You know, when you have a house, unless you have a property management company, which a lot of them are not doing Airbnb for people out here. I don't know of any, to be honest. It's very hard to manage that process far away. So I'm just a big believer in helping you guys think a little bit more outside of the box, or getting a house that you're renting on Airbnb that's 31 days or more, right? Short-term rental is what everybody thinks of when they think of Airbnb. So we're trying to help people really wrap their head around, what does Airbnb really mean? What are your goals truly? And let's look at it. I will be very open and let you know, condotels, like Vidara is one of them, don't have an immediate upside from a financial perspective as far as like equity. But again, you get to utilize it as a vacation home. You're going to be making money so that it can help cover your costs, you know, just to break even. And so I just try to tell people it's not going to necessarily immediately walk you into a cash flow experience from an investment perspective, but from this is my house that I used to vacation, and now I'm saving money on hotel when I visit Vegas, and I also make money and it helps me cover the payment. I don't know, man. I'd rather break even and own something in Vegas than own nothing and you know, have to wait and see what happens, right? So huge fan of that for sure. All right. Oh my God, you guys are giving if you guys want to look at the comments, there's some great, amazing restaurant ideas here. Let's see. We got Blueberry Hill, an oldie but a goodie. Love that spot. Good. That's a good, it's kind of like a cafe. Tom's Urban at New York, New York is great. Boston Pizza at Naked City. Rodney says he misses Aria Buffet. Oh, somebody ate at Pizza Rock. You guys are very loquacious today, very chattery. All right, let's see what Tracy says. I know Henderson and Summerlin are the popular areas people want to move. Are there more reasonably priced homes in and around those areas and neighborhoods? Yes, Tracy, I could kiss you. So grateful that you're asking such good questions, because you know, I love Henderson. I'm a Henderson girl, and I love Summerlin, to be very honest with you. Both of those areas of town are very highly rated. The schools in those areas are, you know, high ranking. There's a lot of money in those areas. So of course it feels amazing and awesome and wonderful. That's great. You can get a lot of the benefit of living near one of those areas and save money on HOA fees, still utilizing their parks, still utilizing, you know, some of the amenities that are around you, getting that vibe when you're driving home, all those things, beautiful restaurants, all those things, and not break the bank. So yes, is the answer to your question. We often try to, you know, push people to really, you know, if they say Summerlin only, we say, how about Summerlin adjacent? How about Henderson? How about nestled up next to Henderson? Things like that, because we also know the emerging areas of town that are coming up and around, and they're starting to really develop. And we know that if you can get in early while the prices are still lower in those areas, you're going to definitely see a bigger upside. So let us be your experts. We do this for a living every freaking day of the year. This is what we do. And it's our favorite thing. So let us know. Again, click the link in the description. If you guys don't do that and don't subscribe to my channel, then you better get your butt off here, because I'm not working my way over here for nothing. Let's see. Let's see if I'm already, this bologna and cheese says, if I'm already a degenerate gambler with a drinking problem and my favorite movie is Leaving Las Vegas, is it still a good idea to move there? Tom Talk to your therapist. That's my answer. If it's bologna and cheese, you should maybe ask your therapist. Probably not a good idea, but I am not. I am here just to spread yes and positivity and hope, and that doesn't sound very hopeful. Tony says, would a second house purchase be worth it as an Airbnb with the current rates? Both aren't sure. Oh, not sure what Airbnb rates can bring in. So the thing about Airbnb, again, stay tuned because it's way too much for me to get into on this live stream. But the Airbnb process of getting approved is not an easy one. So what we're trying to tell our clients is buying a second home, period, is a great idea, even with the current rates, because right now builders as well as sellers are paying down those rates for you. So you may think it's going to be a 10% interest rate, but you maybe be able to get it much, much lower based on what you can negotiate or we can negotiate for you with the seller. So yes, the answer is yes. You should, if you can get your hands on a second home and you can make it work. The reason I say that is, and even Jerome Powell said this, rent is on the rise. It is not decreasing anytime soon. Rent is not going to go down anytime soon. So even if you get a second home and you start to rent it 31 days or more under an Airbnb mindset, or you get a long-term tenant and let the first year just be a regular long-term tenant, you will absolutely be able to cover that rate, or we won't let you buy it, right? We're going to run those numbers for you when we're starting to look at neighborhoods and what we're, pricing wise, what we're looking at. And we're going to let you know, here's what the rent's going for in these neighborhoods. Here's what you're likely going to be able to get from a renter. And here's what your payment's going to be. If that matches up, you're golden. But the bottom line is that what we're trying to tell our clients is just get your hands on a house. Then you can finagle it and do whatever you want with it, right? Then you can refinance it when the rates start to drop in a couple of months or in a year or whenever the hell that happens. You can really look at options for 31 days or more Airbnb, or doing something like travel nurses or professionals that are coming into town who want a longer term rental. You can start to apply and look into what the Airbnb process will be for approval for short-term rentals, which is 30 days or less, 31 days or less. But you have a lot of options. But yes, absolutely. It's absolutely still worth it. And the reason I can say it's worth it is because we're not going to say, yeah, just go buy it. And then, whoops, we didn't know that the rent was only $1,800 on average for that neighborhood, and you have to pay $2,900 a month. Oops, now you're, in the hole. No, we're going to make sure we're running those numbers for you before you put your name on the dotted line to buy the house. So great question, Tony. Thank you so much. Michael says, has crime increased in Vegas with all of a sudden huge migration of people moving there lately? Michael, I'm not a crime expert. I don't even look at the crime rates very often. I probably should. Highly recommend going to LVMPD, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's website. But I mean, logically, yeah, probably. We're just like every other city. Crime has gone up everywhere. A lot of times crime has gone up because people are at home more and they're in there, there's just a shift of mindset. The pandemic got everybody in a bad mood. I mean, there's been a lot of changes in the world. But yeah, I'm sure that crime has bumped up a little bit. With more people comes more crime, right? But I would definitely check Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department's website. Best place for that kind of information. I'm really going to give you the right answer. I would not deter you though, because I'll be very honest. I personally feel very safe in Las Vegas. We have normal crime like normal cities, but I, don't personally see a lot of one-to-one crime happening with people in neighborhoods or my clients or people that I know. There are areas of town that are higher crime rates than others, but we are by large a very safe place to live. So don't let that deter you. Carol, I want to give you a high five and a shout out. Thank you, babe. She said she's subscribed. Are you subscribed? That's the real question. Are you subscribed? You better go check that status. All right, let's see. Strike Force says, can you talk about the job market? Sure, I'll happily talk about it. I wish I was more of an expert on what's going on in the job market, but here's what I can tell you. This is a service industry town by nature, but we have a ton of new industries that have either landed here already or that are moving here and that need people to work. And I'll be honest, I've heard from many small business owners and many larger business operators that finding people who want to work has been the hardest problem. I don't know if it was because of the pandemic and all the people that were making more money from the government while the pandemic was happening and then got used to not working, and people work in the system. I don't know. I wish I knew how to work the damn system. I would love to take a day off. I haven't had a day off since the beginning of the pandemic, actually since before. But yeah, the job market I think is good. It just depends on what industry you're in and what you're trying to do. If you are out here trying to, work for Tesla, you could work in the sales center, but we don't have like a Tesla manufacturing facility, right? We have Google though. We have Amazon distribution warehouses. We have a lot of really cool, unique industries that are moving here. And I'm also seeing a lot of cryptocurrency companies are coming here. A lot of NFT companies, things like that, are really kind of trying to set up here because we're very small business friendly. Our tax structure is amazing. And I don't know, for me, that all sounds great and wonderful and tells me that it's going to be going up. I can't speak for what's happening with, the job market as it relates to the recession, but I'll tell you, I have not, knock on wood, I have not seen any of my direct friends or clients or colleagues getting fired from their job or being cut from their job because of it. Vegas is booming right now. Watch the stats. Look at how much money the casinos are making each and every month. It has done nothing but go up and up and up. People are coming to Vegas and they're spending money. And as long as people are still doing that, then job market's pretty good. So I hope that helps. Sammy says it's always a good idea to move to Vegas. I still owe Sammy a drink. I'm going to give her 2 now just for saying that. I love that. Thank you for saying that, Sammy. And I love that you're already here. Rodney says, I was only looking at Henderson and Summerlin, and my man Steve Carter from the Las Vegas Gals team got me an amazing place up north in Tule Springs, and I love it here. Rodney, super excited to hear that. Also, good to see you on the channel. Thank you for watching today. Steve is an incredible part of our team. He's one of my agents that works for me, and he's a badass, and he knows the city like the back of his hand, and he's right. Tule Springs is in North Las Vegas. It's this gorgeous area. Again, it's up on the edge of that bowl, so you're looking over the whole city. You're 18 minutes from the Strip. If you want to go down to the Strip, you're probably 35, 40 minutes from Mount Charleston, the top of Mount Charleston. You can go to Red Rock in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You can go to the Speedway in about 15, 20 minutes. It's a great location. I'm so glad you got in there, Rodney. Super happy that you worked with our team. Thank you. If you'd like to work with our team, there's a link in the description. We would love to talk to you today. We're desperately excited about the fact that, we have the opportunity to help change the narrative about what's going on when it comes to Las Vegas. If the link isn't in the description and you're not seeing it below here, no worries. Don't worry about it. I would love to help you. Just go to cerronegroup.vegas and you can operate with us there, or you can go to my Instagram at Las Vegas Gal. There's a link in my bio there. There's also a link in the bio. There's literally links everywhere, guys. Just find the damn link. Okay. Edward Loves Crypto says, is there a general area where people from California don't live? Don't know what's going on with you, Edward, and if you don't like people from California, but nope, the answer is no. Honestly, we're very diverse. We're a melting pot. There's not areas of the city where certain people of certain ethnic backgrounds or colors of skin, like there's languages, there's like literally not that. Like I know in New York, there's the Polish neighborhood and there's the Jewish neighborhood and the Catholics live over here, but it's not like that in Las Vegas. It's very, very mixed up, right? You don't ever know who your neighbor could be, which I think is a wonderful, beautiful thing. Same thing with Californians, right? Californians kind of are like their own species sometimes. So are we in Nevada, so I don't blame them. But nope, California's, I think 77 or 80% of the people who move here are from California. So you better figure out if you like California people, if you're going to live in Vegas, because there's a bit of those here. But nope, everybody's kind of mixed in everywhere. We're like a big old bowl of soup, and it's the best. Samuel Jackson. Hey, Samuel Jackson. Good to see you, my friend. I've noticed that homes are on the market last month are now showing up as new listings. Were these taken off the market and relisted to reset the days on the market? Look at you, Sam. Samuel is always keeping an eye on the market in Vegas. He knows more than I do sometimes, and I love it. I really appreciate how closely you're watching things. I'm really excited for you guys to finally start that process down here once you sell your house. Yep, that is a tactic that a lot of agents will use. They'll pull it off the market for a week or so and then put it back on to make it look like it's new. A lot of times too, though, if a seller doesn't think that sellers like to, don't want to realize that like what's happening in our world right now is actually happening to everyone. So they often want to blame the agent, or maybe they're not happy with the agent that's listing their home. So they may let the agent go. And then if that's the case, they do have to pull it down and relist it with someone new. But if you're seeing the same listing agent's name, then yeah, they're using that tactic. It's an old tried but true one, but it doesn't always work because if you're smart, you can literally just type in the address and it'll show you that it was just listed for the same amount. So good eye, sir. I love it. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more questions and then we're gonna keep on doing. Jacob did a video on this a while ago. I don't know what, but I will have to ask my friend Jacob. I took him to the NASCAR race with me. I got invited by the Speedway to come out and to do the NASCAR South Point 400 a couple weeks ago, and I asked Jacob to be one of my dates. I took 3 dates. It was awesome. And so that video is actually coming out tomorrow. So you'll get a little glimpse of Jacob and me. My friend Jake, my son Phoenix is in the video. Super amazing. Love my friends at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thank you guys for inviting me. Can't wait to do more events with you. So check it out if you guys want to. It's going to go live tomorrow. My friend told me Phoenix is a mini California. Do you feel it's the same thing in Vegas? I think a lot of people would say that. I think that, it just depends on what you consider California. Like, is it the type of people? Is it the types of foods? Is it the restaurants? Is it the stores? Is it the vibe? Is it the energy? It's really going to depend on what you mean by that. I I would say a lot of people who move from California decide between Phoenix and Las Vegas. So I can tell you they probably have a lot of California residents. I don't necessarily think it's the same thing here. I think that we have our own vibe. But yeah, we have a lot of California people here. So I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know. Carol Nicole says, do y'all help people find rental homes? Sometimes we do. It depends. It ebbs and flows on a week-to-week basis. If you're interested, Carol, please feel free to reach out to our team and we'll let you know if we're doing that right now. It's going to depend. With the rental market being so scary, strong, and like we don't know what's going on, and people not really being able to find homes, it's unfortunately a drain on our resources to take a ton of people out looking for rentals if they aren't extremely well qualified, like perfect credit, no issues with their rental history, no pets, because a lot of these rentals are not even taking pets anymore. Those are typically the clients that we're able to help. Otherwise, we're wasting your time and our time by running you around and spending money on all these application fees and things like that it's just a waste of money. So please reach out. Let me and the team take a look at your situation, and we can kind of discuss if you're a candidate that we feel like we can help right now. Otherwise, I highly recommend apartments. We've got some great apartments in town. There's a lot more inventory of those than there are homes. And that might be a good first step towards getting into Las Vegas while you look for a home. I'm also going to say this. If you think you need to rent and you can afford to rent, you need to be buying a house. 100,000%, hands down, especially right now. A lot of people get it in their head because they don't have down payment, because they have bad credit, because they this, that, and the other. Their mom told them, their uncle who's a realtor in Wisconsin told them, whatever. Please, for the love of God, listen to me when I say this. You don't know until you talk to the actual experts that work in it every day. And Amber Coleman can probably save you money and get you free money from the seller for your down payment or for your closing costs, and have them buy your points down and get you free grant money and just start to stack it up to where we've genuinely helped 11 miracle clients get into homes that should never have been able to get a home in the last 30 days. And because Amber's incredible. And then beyond that, a couple of them got in with no money down, not one penny out of pocket. So do not let no savings, bad credit, your mom's, uncles, brothers, sisters, someone who's an expert, not really an expert, tell you. Let Amber be the one that tells you. Let us be the one that tells you. We really want to make sure that you're looking under every stone before you turn to renting, because rent right now is ridiculous and we don't want to see you waste your money. We want to see you invest in your future for sure. Good question. Leolo says, has the condo market mirrored the single market home in terms of pricing? What areas have better quality condos that are viable options? Great question. No is the answer. So a little bit ago, I said that the median home prices for condos as of September, because that's the latest information I have, was only $270,000. So if that's the median price, and you're kind of on a lower budget, which totally get it, no judgment, condos might be the way to go. And we've got some beautiful 3-bedroom condos here in Las Vegas. So might be an option for you. The areas that I like for condos are Northwest, Southwest for sure. I also think there's some fun downtown experiences for condos, depending on what you're looking for, in North Las Vegas. Those are some amazing, awesome pockets where you can really get a lot of more bang for your buck, if you will, and get a lot for your money. So great question. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for the $1.99. I always forget that I can accept money on these things. You guys better start sending me some money or just buy a house with me. I'll be happy about that. When I move to Vegas, I'm going to ask Lacey on a date. Michael, you keep sending me money. You may not have to ask me on a date. You can buy me a drink right now. What's up? What are we doing? Thank you so much for the tip. Really appreciate it. And you are more than welcome to ask me on a date. Hallelujah. As long as I'm single, listen, let's mingle. That's all I'm saying. All right. Favorite radio station in Las Vegas, Cool 102.3. They play music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and Motown. Great tip. If you guys I'm a Sirius XM listener because I'm a Howard Stern fan, and I have been for 100,000 years. So I don't creep over to our radio stations very often, but when I do, I like 98.5. I like 100.5. 102.3 is great. 94.1 is awesome. They're super fun, and they're kind of like the office-y vibe. 92.3 as well. I don't know. They're all changed over all the time. Okay, let's see here. Kind of a techie question. Oh, good. Let's see how we do this. How prevalent is the gigabit fiber internet there? Are there better areas of town for getting hooked up with faster internet? Johnson, that's actually a really good question. I thought you were going to stump me. There are areas of town that have a little bit of trouble with the internet connection. We can work one-on-one with you when it's time to set up like a search for the homes and the neighborhoods you want to go to let you know. Because I know that a lot of people rely heavily if they work from home. They have to have a good signal. They can't ever be without. Cox Cable is the main provider for internet here. And they do, I think they do I don't know if it's fiber, but they have the giga something. This is definitely over my head, but they do have the fastest internet in Vegas. Not a lot of people like the company because they used to lock us into these contracts and you were kind of screwed. They've gotten a little bit more lenient with that stuff these days. There's also CenturyLink, and then AT&T Uverse, I think, is out here as well in certain areas. I'm a believer in Cox until Google gets that fiber installed out here. I'm going to be with Cox. So, but the areas of town that I would be looking away from, Southwest is probably a little bit better. It's anything brand new. That's what I would just say. So anything brand new on the edge, just make sure you check with them and call the internet provider and get the upload and download speeds and things like that before you really make a final decision. But just know that they move very quickly to keep these towers going up for phone signals. It's mostly phone signal that gives us a problem more than internet, like wired internet speed or wireless internet speed. Because once you set up your house, with all of what you need, that's usually not an issue, but phone signal has a tendency to be kind of an issue. So they're constantly evolving, constantly putting up new towers, new everything. So don't let that deter you. But I would say Southwest and Northwest have given me the most trouble. A little bit of North Las Vegas on the far northeast side. Hope that answered your question. All right. How about the Boxable Factory? $50,000 for a tiny house. Listen, I'm about it. I'm about it. If there's a $50,000 tiny house available out here, I'm about it. You just have to buy the land, and you have to make sure that the land is permitted for residential use of that nature. So we can help you look at that as well. Okay. Johnson says, oh my God, that relisting thing is so annoying. It happens so much. You can look at the tax sales and see history on the listing websites. Yep, you can. So a few minutes ago, we were talking about how some of these listing agents will be pulling a house off the market and then putting it up again to try to fool you into think it's a new listing when it's the same damn house that they were selling. People are getting desperate for marketing these homes and trying to make sure that, they're able to find a buyer. I don't blame them. Listen, I've tried it in my day. It doesn't always work though. Do you know any good Indian restaurants in Vegas? Oh my God, I do, but I can't think of the name. I think I'm thinking of Thai. I don't think I've had Indian food in Vegas. I don't think I've had Indian food. If you know of any good Indian foods, please drop them in the comments below. Lyndon says, hey, Lacey, what do you think of buying apartments in hotels, MGM signature, and putting them on the rental program? I've seen stories where the hotels have ripped off owners with lots of fees. Perfect. So I was talking about this a little earlier. If you're just tuning in, no sweat, but this is called a condo-tel. I actually put out a series of videos about this on my channel on YouTube a couple months ago. And I'm really excited that you're bringing it up because I don't think they're a ripoff at all. You have to go in with eyes wide open. So if you're walking in saying, I'm going to get this condo-tel and I want to put it on the rental program and they're going to take 50% of your profit, just so you have to know that you have to do the calculations in advance, and we'll help you to determine what you need to do to sell to make that payment for you. Or you have to walk in knowing that you're just going to break even. A lot of people think that they do those, they're going to be bringing in the money, doing that whole thing. And they're really not. They're not going to see an upside from a net profit perspective or cash flow perspective right off the bat. It takes a little while to kind of get yourself even. But as long as you can cover those fees or cover the program and then cover whatever you're going to do for your payment, who cares? You have a place in Vegas you can now stay in and get excited about. And then beyond that, you're making money and you're earning equity. I'm a big believer in condo-tels, and they're now doing loans for them. They never used to do loans before. They're now doing loans. So if you're thinking about it, I highly, 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 highly recommend talking to our team, and we'll look at what your goals are and see if that's going to be the right fit, or if you should look at something that's a little like a single family home or a condo off the strip that you can maybe do something a little bit different with. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more questions because I've been on here almost an hour. I'm so grateful for all of you guys being here and just joining me. Super grateful. This is so fun. I'm going to probably be doing these a little bit more often. So if you like these, give me a high five in the comments and let me know that you want me to keep doing them. I'm also going to be bringing my team on, 1 or 2 people from the team, to just let them kind of come and get to know you a little bit. The sun has gone down and I'm losing my light, so I got to cut this thing short. So let's see here. How are the gas prices? Anthony, I wish I had better luck for you. Depends on where you live. Our gas prices right now are upper 4s, so a little bit under 5, or like all the way up to like 5.50. Just depends on where you buy it and what kind of gas you like. I have no idea. I have no idea. Not good. That's how. Okay, and then I'm gonna give two more. Kevin says, can you dig up a cactus in the desert and bring it home and replant it? Yes, you can. Very good question. I have a lot of people who don't want the cactuses or even palm trees in their yards. So they will actually call companies who will come out and excavate them and resell them. Because I don't know if you know this, but a palm tree can be anywhere from $2,000 to $50,000, depending on how big it is. And if it's properly excavated and then rerooted or replanted, it can be an amazing moneymaker for you. It's an expensive process to get that thing dug up. But as far as cactuses go, I think the same sort of thing. If the cactus has good roots and good healthy setup, you can have it excavated properly and have that done. Thank you for subscribing, Julie. I just want to say thank you to Just Julie. Appreciate you guys. Be sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss out. I'm going to be doing all kinds of stuff. And watch my channel, watch my YouTube channel these days. You're gonna get punched in the face with Lacey. I have a bunch of videos, shorts coming out, tons of really great videos about Airbnb, and some listing stuff. So tune in, and also some cool stuff about speakeasies in Vegas and bars and all the lifestyle stuff. So I'm doing what I love, guys. Lean in, follow me. Last question of the night, Sharon Watowitz. So Sharon, are you related to 360 Vegas, Karen and Mark Watowitz? Are you surprised I know how to say your name? Because they're clients of mine. If you guys aren't listening to them already, my very good friends, Karen and Mark Watowitz from 360 Vegas podcast, awesome podcast, super fun. Also, my friend Scott Robin from Vital Vegas, awesome podcast. He's amazing. He's also got big mouth on Twitter. He's fun. Odd question, but we like having a basement for storage. Do most single family homes have a basement? I'm sorry, Sharon, but none. I won't say none. 99% of the homes in Vegas do not have a basement, unfortunately. We have a hard surface, a hard rock that's hard to cut through called caliche rock or caliche. And so it's very expensive to dig that up. There are very select neighborhoods in Las Vegas that are beautiful homes that do have those built in. But we do not have a lot of those in Vegas. So what a lot of people end up doing is they end up using their garage for storage, which stinks, I know, or they use large closets inside the house, or if you ever drive through Vegas, you'll notice we have a lot of self-storage places, like most people in most cities in the US. So a lot of people end up putting stuff in storage there and just going and getting things out when they need it. So if you're interested in looking at a house with basement, I'm the girl that knows where they are. I've sold a few of them. So make sure you click the link in the description, Sharon. And let me know, by the way, if you are Karen and Mark Watowitz's relative. Like what a crazy cool name for them to have and for you to have. This is nuts. It's kind of, I've never seen that name before other than with them. So great question, you guys. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. Again, I'm super excited that you guys came on board. I'm so stoked that I was able to do this for a little while on my Sunday fun day. And honestly, I'm just here for you. My genuine mission in my life is to help you learn how to live your best Las Vegas life and to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, which is right here next to me in my neon hometown. So if you like what I'm putting out there on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, or on YouTube, please subscribe, please like, please comment, please do me the favor of giving me that love in return. It helps the algorithm. Can I say that? Helps the algorithm. And it helps me out when it comes to my business. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. It's Sunday Fun Day. Go finish. We got one more game coming up here in a few minutes. If you're a football fan, I think there's another game right now, right? 5:15, it's about to start. I'll see you guys later, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.